Hi, my name's Ruan and this is my channel, The Yorkshire Sew Girl. I know I've neglected you for a little while again. I'm so sorry. But if you watched my last kind of sewing chit-chatty video, a bit of a catch-up, you will know I've been in a bit of a slump. I'm not going to lie. I've just been feeling a bit meh. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that commented on that last video. I think there's a lot of people feeling a bit like I am actually at the moment. So it was really nice. There's lots of words of encouragement and people just being really sympathetic and a lot of people saying they were in the same boat as me. So I didn't feel quite as alone after I kind of had a chat with you. And I also mentioned in that vlog, because I'm not particularly making a lot of garments at the moment, because I'm just not feeling it, you were kind of saying, well, we quite like, you know, the sew along videos that you do, you know, when you just have a chat while you're making stuff, and some of the other things that you do that aren't necessarily garment related. So just do what you want to do, Ruan, and let's crack on, which I thought was really nice. So I thought what I'd do today is I would come to you because I obviously do loads of research in the background, and you know, Len, I like to share it with you guys because if I'm doing the research for myself, I might as well talk to you guys about it. And as I mentioned before, I am definitely into kind of a bag making, accessory making thing at the moment. And that's going to just plug that little hole, I think, while I'm not particularly garment making. I have made some garments. So I've made a dress for my mum for her holly bobs and she looks amazing in it. And about, must be 5 or 6 weeks ago, I made some pyjamas for myself that are on Instagram. That's about it. So yeah, I haven't really been making anything like that, but I am making some other bits in the background. And I was having a look at bag patterns, and in particular free bag patterns, and I wrote loads and loads of notes down. I had about 30 altogether, but I've narrowed it down to 10, and I thought, well, if I've done it for myself, I will share it with you guys. Before I go anywhere though, I will let you know what I'm wearing. I am wearing a True Bias Roscoe blouse. Couldn't get my words out then, in this stunning like cotton fabric from Cloth Edit in Australia. The lovely Gabrielle sent it over to myself and the girls for Sew April Blouse, and if you want to know any more about it, we do have a vlog out over on the Northern Soul Sisters channel. I will try and remember to pop something in the description box for that, and you can go over and check it out if you want to know a bit more details. But I blooming love it. I didn't think I was gonna. I felt like I was doing a bit of a cop-out because I was a bit like that about the pattern, and I've worn it loads since. I don't know if it's the fabric that I love, the combination, what it is, but I'll definitely be making more of these because I really, really love it. So anyway, shall I stop going on and she'll just crack on? So I've got a mixture of like everyday bags, some larger bags, some maybe more going out type bags as well. I've tried to do a bit of a range, but majority of them are like the everyday bag type of thing, and I'll be putting pictures up to show you here or here, I never know which way around it is, and I will always make sure that I've got everything in the description box if you want to go and have a look and check them out. So let's go with number one, which I think is a really strong contender, and that is the Closet Court belt bag pattern. I do have notes down here if I'm looking down, by the way. So I didn't realise this was a free pattern. I had absolutely no idea. Obviously the Bestie bag by BF Pattens has been like a bit of a viral pattern, hasn't it, that we've all made, particularly a lot of the YouTubers, and this is a similar-ish kind of pattern, but it's free. So I was like, oh, I think I might want to give this a go. And I love a crossbody bag as well, but this can also be worn as like, in the UK, we call it a bum bag. In America, I believe you call it a fanny pack. Fanny is a little bit rude in the UK, so it always makes me titter like a young child. I'm sorry. That's what it's like here. So what does it say about the belt bag pattern? It says, step up your on-the-go game with our free core belt bag pattern. Whether you rock it as a crossbody, fanny pack, waist bag, moon bag or sac banane, this accessory blends style with practicality. Plus it's fun to sew. Simply download our free core belt pattern below and we'll guide you every step of the way through the sewing process, ensuring a seamless experience from start to finish. And they've also got a video tutorial for this as well, which is spot on, particularly if you're not really up on new bag making and you just want someone to hold your hand. So it's designed to work with a variety of fabrics. So it comes in two sizes as well, a small size which is 13 inches wide by 6 high, and then a large version, which is 15 inches wide by 8 inches high. So it just says it's ideal. So the small version fits essentials like your phone, wallet, keys, but the larger version will fit most of your must-haves. So things like small notebook, your charger, snacks, the very important thing, snacks. It's fully lined and boasts a front zipper, an optional inside pocket, a swivel hook, and an adjustable strap with slider buckle. That is a lot for a free pattern, wouldn't you say? I think it is. And also the small size only requires 1/4 of a yard of fabric, which is amazing. So it's really a good project for stash busting as well, and adding like a matching accessory to your wardrobe. And that's what I love at the moment. Is someone put a really rude comment on, where was it? Was it on one of my vlogs? What are you going to do? What do you do with all them bags? I was like, wear them. I don't even have that many, but anyway, what I'm going to do with all them bags? I'm going to wear them. Actually, that's what I'm going to do with them. No, I'm just going to like hang them up in a wardrobe and just look at them. Some people are a bit daft, aren't they? So yes, I love the idea of being able to coordinate bags and then just swap all your bits internally and have them for different reasons as well. So the small and the large. So I thought that was a fabulous one. So I think kicking off strong for number 1, don't we think? Number 2, someone mentioned on one of my previous bags about a website called So Sweetness. I went and had a look over there, and there's loads of free bag patterns on there, which is brilliant. And there was one that stuck out to me the most that I would particularly like to make, and it's called the Oriole Bag. And it's beautiful. It's so pretty. And I don't know whether it's because the fabric that they've made it in as well. They've made one in like a bright red. Obviously I'm going to love it. And then one in like a floral fabric as well that's got reds and blues and whites in it, which again, I love that colour palette. I don't know whether that's what's drawn it to me, but actually it's got some really nice features because it's almost like an envelope shape. It's hard to explain, but you'll be seeing the pictures as I'm putting them up. So it says this project is available in 2 different sizes, small or large. So similar to the belt bag pattern, you can make the bag in the material of your choice. So sometimes it's been made in cotton fabric, another time in cork fabric, which I thought was interesting. It comes together really quickly in just 23 steps, and it uses front and back fabrics that creatively form a 3-dimensional bag using darts. So you can see where it kind of has that little envelope shape. That's obviously created by darts as well. So the PDF pattern includes 8 pages of sewing instructions, complete with 21 step-by-step colour photos. And like it said, it comes in a small and a large. So the small is 12 inches long by 8 tall and 2 inches deep. And the large is 14 inches long by 9.5 inches tall and 3 inches deep. So depending on what you want. The big one, I'll pop a picture on, you'll be able to see, is the red one, I believe. And it is quite a hefty size actually. But I just thought this is really, it's just a little bit something different. I just loved it, and I think it would be a really nice everyday bag to be able to make, because yes, I do love my bestie bags, and I've made 2 of them for myself. I've made ones for other people, but I'd like to do some different everyday bags as well. I don't just want to use one pattern. So yeah, I thought that might be quite handy for people to have a look at as an alternative as well. Then we have a free Burda pattern actually. It's called, oh, that's right. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm going to digress here. So you know, sometimes my desk, it moves up and down, and I push it with my boob by accident and it goes up and down. I've put the child lock on it. So that beep then would have been me making my desk go up and down. And someone did ask the other day, is it just super sensitive? No, it's because I'm leaning on it. I'm really, because I'm at an angle, I'm kind of leaning on it. So that's why it's doing it. But I forgot it got child lock, so I just popped that on the other day and thought, well, that's going to stop it from going up and down, but it does beep at me aggressively. So anyway, going back to the bag pattern, yes, it's called the Cotton Croissant Bag. Now, there's no information on it hardly at all online. That's typical, I suppose, of Burda. It just says the latest handbag trend, croissant bags. The name says it all, but they look simply irresistible. And I really do like the look of this. They've made it in like a khaki fabric on the pictures, and I just think it looks really kind of just a little bit of an elevated everyday bag. And I'm not so sure it would actually take that much. It's probably made very similar to the last one where you've got darts in it. but there's a lot more darts to create that kind of croissant shape. And then it's got a really thick strap over the shoulders. Only comes in one size, this one. Difficulty, it says, is 2 stars. So I can't imagine it being that bad. And when I did have a look online as well, Beyond the Sewing Room, who's a YouTuber as well here on YouTube, funnily enough, she's also got a sew along as well for that pattern. So again, if I remember, I'm really sorry if I forget. If I remember, I will try and pop the link to that as well in the description box so you can go and have a look, because yeah, Burda can tend to be very minimal instructions, so that might help. She's made a beautiful floral one. It looks really, really nice. So yeah, if you want something to kind of hold your hand as you go along, that might be the one for you. But how nice is that? And the other thing as well is, if you do want to have a bigger bag, I'm sure you can scale it up when you print it if you really want to, you know. So the next one is a backpack, and I like this because it was slightly different. And I have made the Buckthorn rucksack by Noodlehead. So I was just trying to remember what that was. I've made the Buckthorn. I've made 2 of them, one for myself and one for my mum, and I absolutely love it. But this is it's quite a big rucksack, that one, and this is a little bit smaller, and it's from Life So Savoury, and it's called the Sling backpack, and I love it. So it says the single shoulder is easy to throw on and go, plus it's comfy for wearing. So instead of having your 2 straps as a rucksack, it's kind of like a crossbody bag, which you could wear at the front as well, but for the back, which I quite like. With 3 pockets, there is room for everything I need to carry around. An inside pocket, zipper pocket and buckle pocket give me the perfect amount of space and organisation. So the finished measurements are 9 inches across the wide bottom of the bag, and then 17 inches up from the bottom to the top of the bag. So, and you can use all sorts of fun fabrics for this as well at the end of the day. You can see that it's kind of like a 2-tone, this one. So they've used like a floral fabric and then what looks like almost like a leathery type fabric. So you could do a contrast on these as well. So I think there's quite a lot of scope as to what you would do with this. But yeah, I think you could wear it around the front as well if you really wanted to. But you know, sometimes people struggle when they've got 2 straps on. So this would be an easy one to just slide around the back and have as like an everyday bag. That's kind of how I see it. And I was thinking about this one potentially for when we go to Disney. Did I tell you I'm going to Disney? Not till next year, but anyway. And then the next one is for if you want to do a little bit of like patchwork, quilting, that type of thing. I've always been interested in doing something like that. There is a Helen's Closet bag that I really like the look of, which is to do with patchwork as well. But I thought maybe this one might be good to kind of gently get me in. And I love the fact that it's round, this bag as well. And it's from Sew HQ, and it's called the Zipped Patchwork Circle Bag. So it says about it: turn your leftover scraps into a stunning statement accessory. This circular bag project by Corinne Brad features a captivating crisscross of patchwork prints, perfect for stashing your daily must-haves. With this sewing tutorial, you'll learn how to insert a concealed zip and create a secure bag strap. And it's a great way to use up scraps or fat quarters. And I think we could all agree with that. What I thought about would be really good with this is if you wore an outfit and then you use a couple of your offcuts, not to do the full bag, but just the odd bit so that you had something that coordinated with your outfit. But I thought this might be quite a nice way to do like a nice mindful bag, you know, something that's a bit slow. You're going to be using up your scraps, so you're going to feel really good about yourself. Because I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful about things, particularly with me feeling a bit at the minute. I am trying to do a lot more self-care, and that is something that's unusual for me to do because I tend to be at 100 miles an hour and I tend to take care of everybody else and not necessarily about myself. And I think as we get older, it's more and more important to start having a look at a little bit of self-care. So I have actually been doing something a little bit different, and that will be something that I'm going to show you. And I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to talk to you about Skillshare, because Skillshare are the sponsors of today's video. So if you don't know who Skillshare are, they basically offer creative classes for hobbyists, creative professionals and everyone in between. So you can basically learn a skill from scratch, you can build a creative habit, or you can level up in your career if you so wish. And you'll be taught directly by real, super talented and successful creatives. This spans across so many categories as well. So like design, art and illustration, photography, and of course, crafts like sewing. Now, the class that I have taken is Floral Fantasy, 3 drawing exercises to de-stress and calm your mind by Ava Rosa. And I've been doing this, I've done the first one out of 3, so I'm just about to start on my second one. And I wanted something that was going to take my mind off the day-to-day. I have a very busy mind, and sometimes that can be counterproductive for me because I'm so busy thinking about everything that I don't take that moment to slow down. And I would just like to say that Ava's voice is just gorgeous, and she plays this music in the background and it's like you're in a spa. Oh, it's just amazing. And she talks you through using your pens as a way to drift away from the everyday. And I wasn't sure I was going to like it, and I thought I would just try a little bit, and I ended up doing the whole of the first task, and I will show you it now. Don't laugh. She did it all in black and white, but I did it in colour, obviously. But this is what I have created so far. So this is exercise number 1, and it's talking about floating flowers on water. And I've used it just with some different coloured pens, and I started just in the middle, and I did a few thinking that's probably where I'll just stop for today, and then I just couldn't stop. And her voice is so therapeutic, and she talks to you about making sure that you just concentrate on your mark making, and that's it, nothing else. And the other thing that was really nice is that when I was doing it, my eldest came in and was kind of saying, oh, what you doing, what you doing? And it encouraged him to get his pens out and start drawing as well. So we were kind of doing it together, and this is his little drawing. Look, he drew a kingfisher. And he's not an artist, so it was really good that he then decided to join in and do that as well. So it was kind of a really nice thing that I'd started it off on my own, being very mindful, and then he kind of joined in with me as well, which was brilliant. So there's that. And the other thing that I'm going to do is a little bit of yoga. My friend at work has started a yoga class, and she swears by it, and she comes into work all zen, basically, and that's what I want for myself. So I had a look on Skillshare to see if there was anything that I could follow on there, and there is a class called Yoga for Stress Relief Challenge, and it's 15 minutes for 15 days. Now 15 minutes is nothing, is it? I know I'm busy, but 15 minutes? Can I genuinely say to myself that I can't fit 15 minutes in? I don't think so. And that's run by Abby Carver, so I'm going to be giving that a go as well. So I just wanted to kind of let you know about that. And also with Skillshare, they do have a 7-day free trial, and they've also got a 30-day money back guarantee, just in case you were interested, because they've also given me something to offer to you guys. So the first 500 people to use my link in the description box will receive 20% off their first year of Skillshare. So if you want some details on this, I will pop everything in the description box below. You can go and have a look at that. And I'd just like to say thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Right, let's get on to the rest then. We have got another 5 to get through. I'm not doing too bad here, I don't think. So the next one I thought was really good, and it's from Selfmade, and it's the shopper/large tote bag with strap. Very professional description of a bag. It says really simple design. Such a large bag can be used as a beach bag, grocery bag, etc. So some pictures show that it's actually made of mesh. You can make it in mesh as well, you know, like, so you want to be able to see what your groceries are inside. The instructions on this are very brief though, I will say. They're on the website and they're about 5 or 6 steps. But it is a beginner type of pattern, so I can't imagine you're going to have any problems with this, because there's not going to be any complication as such. But what drew me to this was the image that I saw on the internet, which is, it's like a green grid fabric that they've used. I don't know if it's maybe like a canvas, and then they've obviously used an animal print strap. So I was already signed into it. But what I like about this bag is you could just use it for literally anything. So you could use it for an everyday, and you can always cut the size down if you wanted it to be smaller. But I like the size of this. I thought it'd make a really good beach bag. Or, you know, like if you're going away for just the night and you need to pop a few things in, or for example, if I go to a sewing social and I want to put all my projects in there that I'm taking, fabrics, that type of thing, I thought it'd be really handy for that as well. And a real simple, quick win to use up some of your fabrics that you might have. So then I found this one and I was very pleased with this one. So, you know, I mentioned Noodlehead earlier and that I'd done their buckthorn rucksack. They've actually got a free pattern on their website and it's called the Cargo Duffel pattern, and it's amazing, like a really professional pattern. And Noodlehead are, you know, very well known for being fabulous in regards to bag patterns. So what they said though is that the lovely folks at Robert Kaufman asked them to come up with a pattern that to post on their website. So they created this pattern to then put on the Robert Kaufman website, which means it's free to everybody, which I just think is amazing. So I can see this pattern working with loads of different fabrics as well. And it looks like part of the one that's on the images is like quilted as well, which is really nice. And it looks like it's a really good size for like an overnight bag, or even maybe, you know, like a carry-on for on a plane traveling, etc. And I love how it's got like really thick straps, and then it's got these really lovely 2 pockets at the front with like snaps on the flaps. I just think it's a really great pattern. And like I say, because I've had experience with Noodlehead in the past, I know how good they are. So that is a definite of interest to me. And I think that would make really good, you know, presents for people. If you decided you wanted to start early for Christmas, you could start now and crack on with that. And you can see from the one on the picture as well that it's not all one fabric. So you could use up leftovers as well to make this, which I think would be amazing. So yeah, a huge bag that's free from a very well-renowned bag making designer. I mean, can't get much better than that, can you? And then I've got 3 free patterns that are more kind of like a bit more elevated, maybe more of an evening-y type bag as well. The first one is from Puff and Pencil actually, and I've never seen this one before, and it's called the Hangaround bag. So it says, together with Minmote, Norway's largest fashion site, we have designed a free sewing pattern for the Hangaround bag. As a tribute to all creative souls, this sewing pattern is for free, which is lovely. So they did it in collaboration with Minmote, and it's a small lined shoulder handbag. And it's made up of 4 parts. There's 2 side pieces, a front and a back piece, as well as a handle and ties that serve as the bag's closure in the middle. So I think this is going to be a really simple make, if I'm honest, because there's no zips, there's nothing other than a little bow to be able to be done in the middle. Now, if this was an everyday bag, I think what would get on my nerves. I'd feel like I don't want to have to do a bow all the time. But if you were wearing it for an evening, then you're more inclined to do that, aren't you? And it looks like they've made theirs out of maybe like a denim fabric. But I think if you were to make an outfit to go to a do somewhere, like a Frocktails do, for example, and you were wearing something that was like a brocade or something, you could then make a bag that matches that. And this would be quite good because it looks quite like it's got a bit of structure to it as well. And I think to be able to go with like a little matching bag, it just kind of, people go, how come you've got a matching bag to your outfit? Because I sewed it myself. Thank you very much. But how cute is this? And you could wear it for every day, to be fair. You know, oh, there we go again. My desk's about to set off. You could wear it every day, particularly because they've kind of almost dressed it down in denim. So you've got the option for both there. But I thought that in a fancy fabric would look lovely for like an evening as well. So bow bags tend to be quite on trend at the moment, and I know Sew Over It have got a bow bag pattern. I found one for free online, and it's from Boutique Unique, and it's called the Nikki clutch. Now I found this via modernbags.com, and it's such a pretty clutch that I think can be dressed up or dressed down as well. So it says flexibility, dress up as an evening bag, coordinate to match an outfit in the same fabric. It's good for craft fairs. You can keep it simple and use it as a makeup bag or a pencil case. And it's very scrap friendly as well because it uses very little fabric. So it says it's ideally suited to cotton fabrics with the opportunity to include some fancy trim and felt don't know why it says felt, but it does. It says it would be an ideal project to use up scraps of fabric as the pattern pieces are so small, and the finished measurements are just 9 inches wide by 6 inches high, which is really cute. It doesn't come with a strap, but I think you could quite easily do that by just incorporating a couple of little hoops on the sides, sewn into the side seam, and then attach a strap that you've either purchased before or that's from another bag or that you've made yourself. But I just think this is fancy as well. And again, if for example you were going to like a Flocktails or something and the fabric that we're using was quite fluid and drapey and you didn't really want to make a whole bag out of it, you could make the main bag out of something that's more structured, and then you use your more fluid fabric to do the bow on the front, and then it would still kind of match what you're doing. So I love that one, it's a cutie. And then last but certainly not least is the Suede clutch bag by Melly Sews. Now this doesn't have to be made in suede, but they've made it in suede and it's beautiful. I don't know if it's the colour, the trim, what it is, but I absolutely love it. Now the free version has a blog post with the instructions, but you can pay extra if you want to get the printable instructions, but I would just use it straight off the internet. And I love how this looks because I just think it's elevated by using a little bit of trim on the bag. Now we all have a bit of trim, don't we, here and there. We all think, I don't know what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to put it in my stash, never to see the light of day again. But I just think this would be a perfect opportunity to use some of those trims that we've kind of got rattling around as well in our sewing spaces. And also what I like about this one is that you can add straps as well. So it's got 2 loops on the back of the clutch bag rather than the side, which I think is clever, because then you can make a strap, and it does have the instructions for that, and attach it. Or you can take those off and you can just use it as an actual clutch, you know, where you're holding it underneath the clutch. And what I like about that then is if you remove the straps, because the hoops are on the back of the bag, that's going to look a lot better because it's kind of going to be hidden. If you've got 2 loops sticking out at the side and you've taken the long strap off, that's going to look a bit weird if you're just holding it in your hand. So I really like the idea of that as well. And like I say, it doesn't have to be made in suede. You can use obviously interfacing to structure things as well, foam if you wanted to maybe quilt it, you know, that type of thing. And again, you know, if you had like a brocade fabric, it would just look absolutely stunning. And you could also colour block this as well. So the back panel you could have in a certain colour that then flips over to the front, and then the bottom of the front you could have in like a contrasting colour or a pattern and plain, that type of thing. So there's loads of scope with this one, but I just thought it was really, really pretty and I've not seen it before. So yeah, that was number 10. What do we think? Have you made any of these? Has anybody made any of these? I need to know. Please let me know down in the comment section down below if you have. And also, you know, if you know of a particular bag pattern that is tried and tested and that you make all the time, that is free, then please do pop that also in the comments, because I know people like to read other people's comments as well. And it helps people kind of find where other things are. And yeah, I'm just kind of super excited about it. In fact, I will just tell you about something. Let me just go find it. Oh, are they here? Wait a minute. Yes, they are here. I was gifted from the lovely Debs. She has a website, and I've bought quite a lot of my bag hardware from there before, and she's got something now that's called the Bag Tag Club. And she sent me one as a little present because she said, I know you get, I've spoke to Debs quite a bit, and I've also been on her YouTube doing a YouTube live as well, talking about bag making. And she said, I know you're really into your bags at the moment, so I'll send you this as a little gift, which I just think is lovely. So inside was a little sticker that says stilettos are for everyone. I love that, little pun intended. And then I've got 6 labels in here, 3 of each design. And the first one says another bag, but I love on the back because it says, I said I wasn't making yet. And what I like about it is it's very clever, because say this is in your bag and then you lift it up, the writing is the right way around as well. And then the next one says bag goals achieved with a little tick in it, and it's the same on the back as well. And that's in a lovely black with like a really beautiful turquoise colour on it. So Debbie, if you are watching this, thank you so much. It's really kind of you, and I can't wait to get these into some of my bags. But yeah, go and check it out. I will pop a link to her website down below, and then you can go and have a look, because yeah, her hardware and everything is really super good as well. I can highly recommend. So thank you so much. I thought I'd show you that because I thought, oh, actually that's quite appropriate, isn't it, for what we're talking about today. Anyway, I've hit 30 minutes. I'm rabbiting on. I'm going to go now. I'm going to leave you in peace, and I will see you again in my next video. So take care. Bye.